All right, it's time to share our curriculum choices for the 2024 through 2025 homeschool year. And I'm going to start with my two youngest children in this video who will be in grades 3 and 6. Before I start though, can I have time for a little rant? Why are we saying the whole year like 2024, 2025? Can we go back to just the short ones like 79, 83, 95? So much easier. It's a tongue twister to try and say 2024 to 2025, but I digress. Okay, so I'm gonna jump in with my child in grade 3. Let's start with his language arts. We'll be using The Good and the Beautiful Level 3. This is an edition that I have not used before, so it'll be my first time using this edition, although I have used other editions of Level 3. This one, the book was so big that I divided it up. So there's a book for the beginning part of the year and the rest of the year. It also comes with this spelling practice book, which is pretty interesting. So we'll see kind of how this works. It's a little difficult to handle. And then this edition, they have books that actually come with it. So they have Timothy of the 10th Floor, The Journey of 5, Heather and the Highland Pony, and The Kingdom of Kind. This is a great story. I really enjoy this one. And it's interesting how they've divided it up for like parent-teacher read and student read. So this is going to be new for us experiencing it like this. I can't remember if they need this one or not, but I pulled it off the shelf for the video. So if they need a personal reader, this is the one. And then for math, probably no surprise if you've been around for a while, he's going to be doing Saxon Math 3. This is the last year that is done in this format, and that's very like teacher intensive. I sit down and do every lesson with him. So really no surprises there. You know, we find curriculum that works for our family and we just kind of continue with it. So let me move these out of the way. Likewise, my daughter will be doing The Good and the Beautiful's Level 6 Language Arts. This is one, or this edition I've been through a few times. This is the book that goes along with it. And same as my other child, she's going to be doing Saxon this year. She's on 7-6. It's quite a thick book. And then it comes with like the fact practice sheets as well and the tests and all that stuff. I have reviews of pretty much everything that we've used before in my homeschool review, curriculum review playlist. I'll link that up top right here right now so you can go have a look at that after if you want. Okay, so those are the two like subjects that are done at each grade level for the child and individually. The rest is done in some form of group work. Oh, maybe except for this, French. So this is going to be my son's French book. He's also going to be starting Duolingo this year. Duolingo. And my daughter's been doing Duolingo for a few years. I think this is the book she's on this year. I pulled it out and then I thought, I wonder if she did this last year. But I think this is the one she'll be doing this year. We do a rotation with all my kids. So they do Duolingo and they do a workbook. And then we have books, music, movies, games, and Measure Steve on YouTube. And each week they have one of those and then the next week it rotates. So they're getting to hear and to kind of experience French as well as doing the Duolingo and the workbook. So that's what we do for French. Okay, let's do this next. So this year, it'll be just these two children doing history as well as science together. So we're going to continue with the story of the world. We're on volume 3 this year. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with them. My oldest will be doing both the tests and the maps in here. I really kind of wondered and pondered what I should do with my youngest child. At his age, so grade 3, I had my other children already doing like the maps and I think doing the tests. But I feel like I've kind of learned things over the years as we've homeschooled, and so he's not going to do that. So I'm going to do this lap book with him. I started to do it last year with that version for Story of the World 2, and we got about halfway through the year and I was like, this is just a lot more work for me than it is for him. More busy work. I feel like this year his writing is a little bit better, his spelling's a bit better. He's been doing Explode the Code through the summer. I should also mention that he does handwriting in the summer, so he'll be doing handwriting 3 next summer as well. And I think he's better prepared for it. This is one that a mom put together. It's free online. I appreciate her doing that so much. I will link it in the description if you are wanting one. She has all 4 years, I think. So he's gonna do that this year and we'll see how that goes. I think it will work. All right, now for science, which is the topic or the subject I am most unsure of this year for these kids. We have kind of gone through every topic or kind of general topic there is, and so we're starting a second rotation through them as my older kids have kind of aged out of doing the group studies and the younger ones have come up and joined us and are doing them. It was time to do land animals, which we typically do with Apologia, and I just didn't want to this year. And it's not that it's not a good course. I have a review, we've used it before, but having seen how the new Apologia is set up and the junior notebooks or the notebooks, it's just so much better. And I just didn't want to go back to kind of that old format. Now that said, if this plan does not work out, if I'm finding it's not working, then I may end up just going back to Apologia and just biting the bullet and buying the book and going through it that way. So I'm gonna say this other curriculum and my plans, but don't hold me to it. We'll see. So what I decided to do was Mammals from the Good and the Beautiful. It's a unit study that's designed for grades 3 to 8. It's short. It's only 4 chapters, which typically is 14 chapters, which is like 14 weeks. One of them is on bats, which we've already done, so 13 weeks. So what I've decided to do is just kind of do the lessons from this book for 1 week. The second week, do the extensions that are in here for the grades 7 and 8. I feel like they're totally doable for my younger kids. Maybe a hands-on experiment, maybe an art project. In the past, we've done like clay animals when we've been learning about them, documentaries, and just kind of fill the time out that way. That's my plan. We'll see how it works. So I got the student journal, grade 3 to 6 for my younger child. But as I was looking through this, I felt like it was too easy for my daughter. So I got her the 7 to 8 grade journal. I think this is more appropriate for her. And we'll see how it goes. All right, so the rest of the things I have here are done with all my children. So I'm working with children between grade 3 and grade 12. So it's quite an age gap. We're going to be continuing on with our farm anatomy. We do this once a week. The kids write in their notebooks. And I think it will be more than a year until we're done. We shall see. But it's a really good way to actually use these books by Julia Rothman because they have information in them that's really good to know in a very simple format. But I find unless we're actually working through a book, we don't tend to use them. They sit on the shelves and they're such wonderful books. So gonna use that. I also have wildlife anatomy over there, which will go along with some of our mammals unit. And I did get Professor Noggin's Animals of North America, Wild Animals. Oh, I have a few resources we're gonna add in there as well. So then moving on to geography, we really like the units from the Great World Adventure. We're going to continue with them this year. We're going to be doing Africa. This is a really big book. I would say most of their units are like 140, 150 pages. This one is 272-ish. It is much bigger. So my plan is to go through this and then to wait and see how much time we have left at the end of the year. And if we have time, we will either start or probably go all the way through China and North Korea. We'll see how much time we have. The final thing is our read alouds, which we do again as a whole family. I have some of them here. Some of them will be audiobook, and there's a few gaps that I still have where I want to plug books into. But this is what I know we will be doing. So, Mammals of the Small Ponds, Trouble's Daughter, The Story of Susanna Hutchinson, Indian Captive. So maybe I should explain that with our books, our read alouds, I try and find some that go along with science the younger kids are doing and history. And then a few like classics or fun books. So you can tell a lot of these go along with what we're learning about, but I also have to do a mix of books for an 8-year-old versus a 17-year-old. So it's kind of, the levels are all over the place. Black Beauty, The Burgess Animal Book for Children, The Dark Frigate, Tolliver's Secret, Prairie Dog Town, Red Sails to Capri. Now this one I have to decide between the two, and I haven't decided yet, either Betsy and the Emperor or The Other Side of the Wall. We may end up doing both, but right now I have on my schedule just to choose one or the other. The Cabin Faced West, African Town. This is a really thick one. And then my plan is to do Little House on the Prairie right before summer. We've done the first 2 books. This is the 3rd in the series, and I thought summer would just be a great time to just go ahead and read this right at the end of the year. So, I don't think I've missed anything, but I say that and sometimes I have. Hoping my daughter will do piano. The kids are just finishing up some gymnastics right now, hoping to get them into swimming lessons in the fall. Right now they do a like junior youth activity once a month. Come January, my daughter will start doing a youth activity every week. And I think that's it. We'll see. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below. And stay tuned. I'm going to do my children in grade 9 and 10 in the next video. And then I'm going to do a completely separate video for my son alone for grade 12. I hope this finds you having a great day. Take care.